The sun sets over a dusty auto shop, where Jake, a skilled mechanic, wipes grease off his hands. He's just fixed an old lady's rickety bike for free. Her grateful smile still lingers in his mind. But the shop's owner, Mr. Carson, storms in, his face red with fury. "You're wasting time on charity cases, Jake," he bellows, pointing at the bike. "This isn't a free repair shop." Jake tries to explain, his voice calm but firm. "She couldn't afford it, boss. It was the right thing to do." Carson scoffs, tossing Jake's toolbox to the floor. "You're fired. Pack your stuff and get out." The other mechanics freeze, stunned, as Jake stands tall, refusing to beg. He grabs his jacket, glances at the old lady's bike, and walks out into the night, the shop's neon sign flickering behind him. Word spreads fast in the small town. Whispers of Jake's kindness clash with Carson's cruelty. By morning, the town's buzzing with gossip. Jake wakes to a strange noise outside his modest home. Peering through the curtains, his heart skips a beat. 7 black SUVs line his driveway, their tinted windows hiding who's inside. His phone buzzes with a text, "We need to talk about yesterday." Jake's mind races. Is this about the bike? Carson? Or something bigger? He steps outside, the morning air heavy with tension. The lead SUV's door opens, revealing a shark-dressed man with a cryptic smile. "Jake, you've got friends in high places," he says, gesturing to the vehicles. What did Jake's simple act of kindness trigger? And why are these mysterious strangers here? The truth is about to unravel. Jake stands frozen on his porch, the 7 black SUVs looming like silent sentinels. The shark-dressed man, introducing himself as Victor, steps forward, his polished shoes crunching on gravel. "We represent someone who's been watching you, Jake," he says, his voice smooth but edged with authority. Jake's eyes narrow, his mechanic's instincts kicking in. Something's off. "Watching me? For fixing a bike?" he asks, crossing his arms. Victor chuckles, glancing at the SUVs. "It's not just the bike. It's what it represents." Jake's mind flashes to the old lady, her frail hands gripping the handlebars he repaired. Was she more than she seemed? Victor hands Jake a sealed envelope, heavy with promise. "Open it when we're gone," he says, then signals the drivers. Engines hum to life, and the SUVs pull away, leaving dust swirling in the morning light. Jake tears open the envelope, finding a handwritten note. "Your kindness caught our eye. Meet us at the old warehouse, midnight." No signature, just an address. His gut churns, part curiosity, part dread. He spends the day replaying yesterday, Carson's rage, the bike, the old lady's grateful nod. By nightfall, Jake's at the warehouse, its rusted doors creaking in the wind. Shadows move inside. He steps forward, heart pounding, as a figure emerges, a woman, elegant but steely, her eyes locking onto his. "Jake, I'm Elena," she says. "The old lady was my mother." Jake blinks, stunned. "Your mother?" Elena nods. "She told me what you did. Now, we need your skills for something bigger." Before Jake can ask, headlights flood the warehouse. Someone else is here. Friend or foe? The stakes just got higher. Jake's pulse races as headlights pierce the warehouse's gloom, pinning him and Elena in their glare. "Get down!" Elena hisses, pulling him behind a stack of crates. The screech of tires echoes as a sleek black car rolls in, followed by heavy boots hitting the concrete. Jake peers through a gap, spotting 3 men in dark suits, their faces hard and unreadable. "They're Carson's men," Elena whispers, her voice low but steady. "He's not just your boss, he's connected." Jake's mind reels. Connected to what? The old lady's bike was a simple fix, not a crime. "Why are they after me?" he asks. Elena's eyes flicker with secrets. "My mother wasn't just anyone. She was tied to something big, something Carson wants control of." Before Jake can press further, a gruff voice cuts through. "Search the place. He's here." The men fan out, their footsteps closing in. Elena pulls a small device from her pocket, pressing it. A faint beep sounds, and the warehouse lights flicker, plunging the space into darkness. Move, she orders, guiding Jake through a maze of crates to a hidden exit. Outside, a motorcycle waits, keys in the ignition. You're driving, Elena says, tossing him a helmet. Jake hesitates, then swings onto the bike, Elena's arms wrapping around his waist. They speed into the night, the roar of the engine drowning out distant shouts. Jake's mind churns, Carson's betrayal, the old lady's mysterious past, and now Elena's cryptic mission. They pull up to a safe house, its windows dark. Elena finally speaks. My mother left something behind, something Carson will kill for. You're our only shot to get it back. Jake's in deep now, no turning back. Jake follows Elena into the safe house, a dimly lit cabin tucked deep in the woods. The air smells of pine and old secrets. Inside, maps and blueprints cover a table, alongside photos of Carson shaking hands with shady figures. Elena locks the door, her face tense. You're not just a mechanic, Jake, she says, sliding a photo toward him. It's him, fixing the old lady's bike, time-stamped yesterday. Someone's been watching me? Jake asks, his voice tight. Elena nods. My mother, Clara, was part of a network, people who protect something powerful. Carson's after it. She pulls out a small, ornate key from her pocket. This unlocks it. She hid it before she passed. Jake's heart sinks, realizing the old lady's death wasn't natural. Carson had her killed, he asks. Elena's silence is answer enough. She explains, Clara's bike wasn't just a bike, it held a microchip, sewn into the seat, containing data that could expose Carson's criminal empire. Jake's simple act of kindness put him in the crosshairs. Why me, he demands. Elena's eyes soften. You didn't just fix her bike, you showed compassion. That's why we trust you. A laptop beeps, showing security footage, Carson's men closing in on the safe house. We need to move the chip, Elena says, handing Jake the key. You're the only one who can get to it. Jake clenches the key, his mind racing. He's no hero, just a guy who fixes things. But the weight of Clara's legacy and Carson's threat pushes him forward. As they plan their next move, a window shatters. Carson's men are here. Jake grabs a wrench, ready to fight. The game's changed, and he's all in. A glass crunches under Jake's boots as he grips the wrench, heart pounding. Elena signals toward a trapdoor beneath the table. Go, she whispers, drawing a pistol from her jacket. Carson's men kick the door open, their flashlights slicing through the dark. Jake hesitates. Running feels wrong, but staying suicide. Elena's glare pushes him toward the trapdoor. He drops into a damp crawlspace, the key clutched tight. Above, gunshots erupt, followed by Elena's sharp commands. Jake crawls, dirt smearing his face, until he finds a hidden hatch leading outside. Emerging behind the cabin, he hears engines, more of Carson's crew circling. The microchip's location burns in his mind, Clara's bike, still at the shop. He needs to get there before Carson does. A motorcycle, different from the one they rode, gleams nearby. Jake hotwires it, the engine roaring to life. He speeds through the woods, branches snapping against his arms, the safehouse fading into chaos behind him. Elena's words echo, "You're the only one." Why him? He's no spy, no fighter, just a guy who fixed a bike. But Clara's trust and Elena's faith fuel him. He reaches town, the auto shop's neon sign flickering in the distance. Parking in an alley, he sneaks toward the back entrance. The shop's quiet, too quiet. Inside, the bike's where he left it, but something's off, tools scattered, drawers open. Carson's been here. Jake kneels, slicing open the bike's seat. The microchip glints inside, a tiny key to a massive secret. Headlights flood the shop. Carson steps out, his voice cold. You should have walked away, Jake. Trapped, Jake grips the chip. He's got one chance to outsmart a kingpin. The clock's ticking. Jake's heart hammers as Carson steps closer, his polished shoes clicking on the shop's concrete floor. Two goons flank him, their guns gleaming under the flickering lights. Jake clutches the microchip, its edges biting into his palm. Hand it over, kid, Carson sneers, and maybe you walk out alive. Jake's eyes dart around wrenches, oil cans, no clear escape. He's not a fighter, but he's got wits. You killed her, didn't you? Jake says, stalling, nodding at the old lady's bike. Carson's smirk falters. Clara was a problem. You're just collateral. Jake's anger flares. Clara's kind eyes didn't deserve this. He spots a hydraulic lift control behind Carson. A plan forms. You want the chip? Jake taunts, holding it up. Catch it. He tosses it toward a workbench, knowing Carson will lunge. As predicted, Carson dives for it, and Jake hits the lift button. A car overhead groans, then drops, forcing Carson's men to scatter. Jake bolts, grabbing a crowbar for defense. He sprints to the bike, but a goon tackles him, pinning him down. The chip skitters across the floor. Carson laughs, retrieving it. Nice try, mechanic. But Jake's not done. He swings the crowbar, catching the goon's knee, and scrambles free. Headlights flash outside. Elena's SUV screeches up, her voice cutting through. Jake, now. She fires, forcing Carson to duck. Jake grabs the chip and dives into the SUV. Tires squeal as they peel out, Carson's curses fading. You okay? Elena asks, her eyes on the road. Jake nods, breathless. The chip's safe. What now? Elena's face hardens. We expose Carson. But first, we disappear. The night swallows them, danger close behind. The SUV tears through the night, headlights cutting through dense fog as Elena weaves around sharp turns. Jake grips the microchip, its weight heavier than its size suggests. Where are we going? He asks, glancing at the rearview mirror. No headlights follow yet. Elena's jaw tightens. A safe spot, out of Carson's reach. We need to decode that chip. Jake's mind races. The chip holds Clara's secrets, evidence of Carson's empire, drug deals, bribes, maybe worse. He's just a mechanic, now neck-deep in a conspiracy. Elena pulls into an abandoned quarry, the SUV hidden among rusted machinery. She opens a laptop, its screen glowing in the dark. Plug it in, she says, handing Jake a cable. The chip hums, revealing encrypted files, names, dates, transactions. This could ruin him, Jake mutters. Elena nods. Or get us killed. A distant rumble interrupts. Carson's men, closing in. Elena slams the laptop shut. We move, now. They ditch the SUV, sprinting through the quarry's maze of gravel and steel. Jake's lungs burn, but fear keeps him moving. They reach a drainage tunnel, its mouth barely visible. Inside, Elena orders. The tunnel's damp walls echo their footsteps. Jake's flashlight catches graffiti, then a metal door. Elena unlocks it, revealing a hidden bunker stocked with tech and weapons. Clara's backup plan, Elena explains. She knew Carson would come for her. Jake's respect for the old lady grows. She was no ordinary woman. The laptop pings, decoding complete. Names flash, politicians, cops, Carson's allies. We leak this, he's done, Jake says. Elena agrees, but a thud above stops them cold. Carson's found them. The bunker's walls feel like a trap. Time's running out. The bunker's air grows thick as Jake and Elena freeze, the thud above echoing like a death knell. Carson's men are close, their muffled voices seeping through the ceiling. Jake's eyes dart to the laptop, its screen glowing with Carson's secrets, names, deals, proof of his empire. We need to send this now, Jake whispers, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. Elena nods, but her hand grips her pistol, ready for a fight. She points to a satellite uplink in the corner. That's our shot. Get the files online. Jake plugs in the chip, uploading the data to a secure server Clara's network uses. The progress bar crawls, too slow. Boots stomp closer, and a drill whines, biting into the bunker's door. They're breaching, Elena hisses, barricading the entrance with crates. Jake's hands shake, but he keeps typing, encrypting the upload. Almost there, he mutters. A spark of memory hits Clara's bike, its hidden compartment. She'd planned for this. The upload hits 80%. The drill stops, replaced by a loud bang, explosives. Elena fires warning shots through the door, buying time. "Hurry, Jake," she yells. He thinks of Clara's kind eyes, her trust in him. The upload completes at 100%. "It's out," Jake says, relief flooding him. The files are live, sent to journalists and feds. Carson's empire is exposed. But the door buckles, and Carson steps through, gun raised, eyes wild. "You think you've won," he snarls, aiming at Jake. Elena dives, tackling Jake as bullets fly. The bunker's walls shake, dust falling. They're cornered, but the world knows Carson's truth now. Jake spots a loose pipe overhead. One chance left. He lunges, praying it's enough. Jake yanks the pipe free, steam hissing as it crashes onto Carson, knocking the gun from his hand. Chaos erupts in the bunker. Elena grapples with a goon, while Jake scrambles for Carson's weapon. The microchip's data, now public, burns in Carson's eyes with rage. "You've ruined everything," he roars, lunging at Jake. Despite his wiry frame, Jake's years of wrench-turning give him strength. He dodges, shoving Carson into a stack of crates that collapse in a clatter. Elena subdues the goon, her pistol trained on him. "Stay down," she orders. Jake grabs the gun, aiming it at Carson, who's back on his feet, blood trickling from his brow. "You're no killer, mechanic," Carson taunts, stepping closer. Jake's hands shake. He's not, but he's done running. "This ends now," he says, voice steady. Outside, sirens wail, growing louder. The uploaded files have worked, feds are closing in. Carson's smirk fades as he hears them. "You think they'll save you," he spits, pulling a knife. Elena shouts a warning, but Jake's ready. He swings the guns but, catching Carson's wrist, sending the knife skittering. Carson stumbles, and Jake pins him, fueled by Clara's memory and the town's betrayal. Elena ties Carson's hands with zip ties from the bunker's supplies. The sirens stop, boots pound outside. "FBI! Drop your weapons," a voice booms. Jake lowers the gun, hands raised, as agents swarm in. Carson's hauled away, cursing. Elena grabs the laptop, ensuring the chip's safe. "You did it, Jake," she says, a rare smile breaking through. But Jake's not celebrating yet. Clara's legacy is secure, but questions linger. Who else was watching? And what's next for him? Jake stands outside the bunker, dawn breaking over the quarry as FBI agents secure the scene. Carson's in cuffs, his empire crumbling with every news alert pinging on Elena's phone. The microchip's data, Clara's final gift, has exposed a web of corruption, from local cops to city officials. Jake's hands still tremble, the weight of the night sinking in. He's just a mechanic, yet here he is, a hero in a story he never chose. Elena approaches, the key to Clara's bike in her hand. "My mother saw something in you," she says. She was right. Jake shakes his head, humble as ever. "I just fixed a bike." Elena smiles. "And changed everything." The feds clear them, thanking Jake for the leak. The town's already buzzing. Carson's shop is shuttered, his cronies rounded up. Jake's old co-workers text apologies, but he's not sure he'll return. Clara's network, Elena explains, needs people like him, fixers, not just of machines, but of wrongs. She offers him a role, cryptic but promising. "Think about it," she says, climbing into an SUV. As she drives off, Jake's left with the key and a choice. Back home, he finds the old lady's bike, now his, parked in his garage. A note's tucked in the handlebars: "Keep fixing things, Jake. Clara." He smiles, her faith in him a quiet strength. The town feels different now, cleaner. Jake mounts the bike, pedaling toward the sunrise. He's no spy, no warrior, but he's got a knack for making things right. Whatever's next, Carson's allies or Clara's network, he's ready. The road's open, and Jake's finally free to ride it.